Paul Thomas here, Executive Director of the Seneca Lake Wine Trail on a beautiful late spring day here at J.R. Dill Winery. Here with Jeffrey Dill, the owner, founder, tasting room manager, winemaker. Everything. Security, one of your favorite parts. So tell me a little bit about when you opened, Jeffrey. I know you're one of the newer wineries on the trail, and some background information on your winery.
Sure. Well, I started working towards building the winery before fall harvest of 2009, but then we finally opened July 31st, 2010. And I remember it was a nervous day. It was a Saturday, and once we got our first customer in, after the first 5 minutes, I knew we were going to be okay. But I started making wine when I was 18 years old, so that kind of got me more and more involved and more interested in enology and winemaking, and I knew I always wanted to open up my own winery. And I was in the commercial mortgage business before this.
Which sounds very exciting.
Yes, in 2008 it had a major slide. So then I decided to transition into the wine business. I grew up here in the Finger Lakes. I grew up right in Watkins Glen, and always wanted to get back home and do this.
And you have some family members in your deep history that were involved, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Back all the way back to the Civil War ages, 1860s. My great-great-grandfather, and then also my great-grandfather, which we have a picture of, worked in vineyards over on Cuca Lake on its east side, just south of Penn Yan. So we're lucky to have some photos from back in that time.
And to this day, I believe you have some very affordable employees that do a heck of a lot around here at this winery.
Yes. Well, the good thing is both of my parents are retired, even though they work more now than when they were working.
Thanks, son. Thank you, son. We love our retirement.
But they enjoy it.
Yeah.
They enjoy the abuse. They just come up all the time. They're a huge help. But they're great labor. Yeah, my dad's great at the door. People love him.
And so any future plans for the winery? Anything you've been planning to do?
Yeah, we actually have been executing a lot of future plans recently. We added another 3,500 square feet to the back of the building for increased production, storage, and to be able to also host larger groups coming into the winery more easily. But really our biggest plans for the future right now is just to continue increasing quality in all the wines that we produce here.
You've got some distinctive labels. Mm-hmm. You know, not the biggest, most important part of winemaking, obviously, but relevant. Tell us a little bit about the one label that really stands out for a lot of your customers.
Sure. Well, if you talk to some people, it's all about the label. There's label shoppers out there. We do put a lot of time and effort into the labels. We have our tasting bar is actually made of glass out of Seneca Lake, washed up on the beaches that my mom started to collect 40 years ago. So we've taken photos of that bar, and it's printed on silver metallic paper, so it looks like a nice shiny smooth surface with all this lit glass, colored glass, and then we have a silhouette of grapes right over that. So that's our main label that we have for all of our drier style whites.
Very cool. And what about the winery, about this industry, now that you've been in it for a few years? What do you love about it the most?
Probably the number one thing is there's no typical day. Every day is different. And it covers all facets of business, which I love. You know, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. We're going for manufacturing, marketing, sales, management. It hits everything. And depending on the time of year, you know, some facets are a little more heavier than others. Like in the springtime, we're doing a lot of production. We're doing a lot of bottling in the next couple of weeks. And then also kicking up our sales in the tasting room with tourism traffic increasing for the summer. So I just like how every day is different. You can kind of create something from a local agricultural product and make it into something that you can hand sell right to the consumer in the tasting room. So all that I just love.
And what would you say is one of your favorite wines that you make?
Well, my sentimental favorite would be Deschonic. Deschonic's probably one of the first grapes I turned into wine when I was younger. And not many wineries produce it anymore as a single varietal. So I have since the first year, and it's gotten great reviews, actually in competitions, and it's a kind of a cult favorite of our followers that come into the tasting room.
Very cool. Well, Jeffrey, thank you very much for your time. Jeffrey Dill, owner, J.R. Dill Winery, here at the southeastern end of Seneca Lake.